plays out.
For the players who are asking if we can stream at a different time, we know this is not ideal. We know some of you are up in the middle of the night or in the early hours of the morning to be able to join us, and we really thank you for that. We don't just want to change it by a few hours. We want to actually give you regional alternatives to the regular live stream out of California, USA, so that we're really catering to you and the times that are good for you and the languages that are best for you. So stay tuned. We're a very small US-based company, but we're going to get that together, and we're going to definitely have some live stream regional alternatives for you. And for the player who's been asking about character design contests, we obviously don't have a hero design contest right now. But it's definitely a possibility for the future. What we do have going on right now is an Arden fan art and fan fiction contest in the forums. So post your artwork that's Arden inspired. It can be as literal or as abstract as you want. Post your art and fiction. The last time we did an art contest, Harry Potter won, and Chainsaw signed this amazing giant Kashka canvas print, mounted canvas print, and sent that off to Harry Potter. She should be getting it soon, along with us giving out ice to other winners. So we're doing a contest for Arden. Post your Arden images and fan fiction in the forums, and maybe you'll win ice or even something cooler.
Hey, Kiwi Ryan, you have an awesome morning routine. That's great. He just said he just woke up to watch this. Vainglory for breakfast.
So here you
so healthy.
Here you see a scarf. He does his ultimate from the brush, which is key. It doesn't expose him during that long channel. Why is he going in for the... So he went back in during the Adagio channel, which maybe he was securing a kill. Otherwise, that wasn't so good. But yeah, that can really help if you can do the inhale of Scarf's Dragon Breath when you're hidden, when you're out of vision in the brush. Save all that time when you could be getting stunned out of it, and then be able to go and light people up with that flame damage. It's a really nice crawl from a very long distance there. With
See how long that stun was?
Yeah.
See how long that stun was?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a full like 2 or maybe like 1.5 second stun at maximum range on the Adagio. Almost killed him. I think he could have gotten a kill there actually.
Enemy team collected from gold mine.
Why 6 items at once? Well, 6 items is where you can create a lot of interesting combinations. You actually can only really do 5 items because everybody has to buy boots, and that's kind of something that I don't really have an answer to it, but it actually lowers the variety of strategy that you can have. So, but 6, I really want to create additional variety. 6 is an interesting mix where each item matters, each item is worth talking about. You know, if you had any less, I think the number of interesting combinations, the items have a lot of like interactions with each other that work out really well. For example, Bonesaw works really, really well with Sorrow Blade. Alternating Current or Aftershock works really, really well with Broken Myth. I want those interactions to play out, and you have 6 slots to let that happen. But any more than that, each item has to become, for balance sake, they have to become so weak and so insubstantial that it's not really worth bringing up in conversation. You can't really remember, hey, what was that build I did last night? You got like 12 things in your inventory, you're not even remembering 12 things, right? It's just, each thing does so little, it's just not conversation worthy anymore. So 6 is kind of a sweet spot.
Since you've been so intimately involved in these items for the beginning, one thing that I think is really special about Vainglory is there are multiple build paths for every hero. Because it's only 3v3, a lot of things are hybridized in really interesting ways. So, for example, if you're coming from a League background, we all played League, and the Riot folks are awesome. You might, if you're going ADC, you might see a Trinity Force, you might see an Eye Edge, and it's like, and you might see a lot of that, right? But if you're doing Adagio, you might see Shin's 3 Sorrow Blade Adagio, but you might see an entirely crystal-based Adagio as well. Can you talk a little bit about the variety and the build paths in Vainglory and how that makes it interesting in a 3v3 scenario?
Yeah, so every single character in Vainglory has at least 2 competitively viable builds. So if you have a favorite build on a favorite character that you play all the time, I'm telling you, you should try something, you should look for that other viable build. Every single character has 2 good builds at least. Characters like Krull apparently have like 4 really good builds. You can go hard weapon, hard crystal, tanky, or just spam cooldown like this guy right here. The other thing is like, Why do we let cooldown stack? Well, first of all, we have cooldown acceleration instead of cooldown reduction, so it doesn't get ridiculous when you stack it, but also it allows more variety in the builds, like this one right here. Like, this build is completely impossible if we just capped the amount of cooldown you can acquire, but because it is possible, it creates like a very distinct playstyle for Crawl, which is what I call the ability tank Crawl. You're always using abilities and you're healing or protecting yourself with barriers. You're tanky in a very unique way, and it just opens up a lot more paths. So for every single character, multiple builds are possible and viable. Ringo, for example, famously has a weapon build and a fully viable crystal build. Saw has both weapon and crystal. In fact, even Crystal Saw has two variations. There's the Shatterglass-based Crystal Saw, which is all about suppressing fire, all about his ultimate, the grenades. And then there's Evil Andre's Aftershock Saw. He rushes Aftershock first in the lane and just stabs you for half of your health. That is a completely different playstyle, and it just feels totally different.
So a lot of people are having a conversation back and forth. There's really two sides to the argument about in-game chat. Can you just talk about, you think so much about the social experience, and without, you know, any commitments we're obviously not going to make right now, just kind of how you think about the social experience within the game, and kind of how we're very much in touch and thinking about this stuff.
Yeah, sure. So as you know, like, in-game chat can be extremely toxic, so that's one issue that we have to worry about. But the other thing is, I just think that on a touch device, like typing on a touchscreen in the middle of a game is just not very good. You're just gonna stand there and idle for about 10 seconds. You're gonna get, people are gonna start attacking you, and you're gonna like try to dismiss your keyboard really quickly and not look like an idiot. It's really hard to pull off. So we're holding off on doing in-game chat right now, especially of the keyboard variety.
Yeah, but for all elements of the app, we know that we can make the social experience better, and we see our jobs as thinking creatively about those pain points and coming up with things that you're going to be really excited about. So does that mean that there's no more social in the game? Absolutely not. Or outside of the game? Absolutely not. But you know, we're going to think about it. Surprise Birthday especially, along with Kraken, is going to think about it, along with Tachizi. And you know, when we have something we think will be really great for you, for out of game, for in game, whatever it might be, then you'll see it roll out in an app update.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, okay, what about voice chat? So there is a app that is in beta called Tinker that is very, very interesting, and we're watching that space very carefully, because that is really interesting.
So that's a companion app by a player, Snowspeckle, who just took it upon himself to make a Vainglory companion app that includes voice chat. It's something you can check out, see if you like that experience.
Someone say voice chat? Someone say voice chat? Do we need to work on voice chat?
When you're asking in the chat for spectator mode, this guy, right? This guy, the real Krull. When you're asking for forms of chat, when you're asking for new hero roles with other mechanics, it's this guy right here. So
yeah. Whenever you do that, I do not have a weekend. I have not had many weekends.
Now, there's no guarantee it's coming in 1.1.7, but a little birdie told me that you took it upon yourself to stay up in the middle of the night and maybe give players something involving music that they've been looking for.
Something involving music.
All right, well,
that a lot of people have asked for.
All right, well, we'll see.
Will be in the next update.
Yeah, it's called dubstep mode. Permanent dubstep mode, guys. Permanent mandatory dubstep mode. It causes all your enemies to just hear awful, awful dubstep permanently.
Yeah, it is not dubstep.
We should. That's a great feature, though.
There's always the one person who takes it literally and then goes on the Vainglory game subreddit
Now
and it's like confirmed dubstep mode.
Dubstep mode.
Just like the people
we just confirmed it.
Yeah.
We have dubstep mode.
Just like the people who, you know, were like, is it serious that Arden is going to have a heroic perk that grants goat power for 3.3 seconds? No.
I didn't hear that rumor. Does it? Does he? Oh, okay. You see, you confused me.
It was called Bleeding Goats. All right, so while we have a chance here, I just want to call out again to some of the YouTubers and the streamers who spend so much time, showing the world Vainglory more. So to Textbook Scar, to Don John, to Alvaro, to Rumbly Superset, to Dr. Dita, to Wicked Games.
All of them,
oh my God!
Yeah, you
Hey
gotta
Geeky
forget.
Chick, to DZ Live, to Fallow Ferris, Shinkan, Profit Jester.
Better not forget one.
Lady Wubby.
Oh, you're good. Really good.
I should pull it up. So, oh, you know what I should say is that even after we wrap, we're going to host Brad Loosekeys of the ShatterTheVein.com podcast. We're going to host him, and we're going to let him give away more ice on his stream. So if you haven't had enough after 3 hours of Vainglory, tune into his stream, and you're going to have even more chances to win ice. But yeah, there's so many more. To everyone out there, you know, thank you for being a part of the Vainglory community and showing people what Vainglory is all
I just
about.
saw someone on the chat actually ask whether dubstep mode will have dances for the characters.
Well, dances have been seen in the game before in a sneak preview. So if you're excited about dances, you might have a good reason to be excited.
Yeah, actually, it's a special feature. It requires you to turn on your webcam and dance, and your character will only dance if your dancing is awesome.
This is not true.
No,
We're not that mean.
that's seriously how it works. You have to dance in front of the webcam.
Hi, Textbook Gaming, Textbook Scar. I see you in the
This would
chat.
actually be
We
really
love your
hard to
stream
make.
out of Australia.
Yeah.
Look at that Krull play right there. Smiting at the last second. Also, Atlas Pauldron was used against that Saw. That's how Krull was able to survive barrage bullets right there. So this build right here, basically build 3 clockworks and then counter build whatever the enemy is getting. So in this case, the enemy Saw is pretty strong, so Atlas Pauldron was acquired. But beyond that, it's 3 clockworks, react to the enemy. Always check what the enemies are building. Always think about who is the strongest on their team and build against it.
So for anyone who's joining us super late here, as we literally close down PAX South here, people are winding down, people are clearing out, but we're with you for another 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So keep talking. Yeah, but for anyone who's joining us super late, this is Vainglory.
It's like the end of a high school party. Like all the lights go on, everyone is shuffled out.
Or closing out the bar, right?
Yeah, totally. Like,
but for anyone joining us super late, this is Vainglory. It is a touchscreen MOBA, a hardcore, unapologetic touchscreen experience where this guy right here built the Evil engine from the ground up for touchscreens, although it's powerful enough to do Xbox or PlayStation games.
yeah,
probably.
it was actually originally a PlayStation engine. Like I originally designed it for the PlayStation 3.
So super powerful engine that allows us to do pretty much anything with this game. So it allows us to use all the kind of fundamentals of a MOBA and then layer on all of the game design that comes from Surprise Birthday and Captain Nito and all the great ideas. So things like if you're not super familiar with the game, we have minion mines on either side. If you come from a League background, you loosely could think of them as inhibitors outside of the base. We have a gold mine in the middle of the jungle where it accumulates gold that then if you take it, it's a capture and hold point that will pay out gold, then continue to pay out gold at regular intervals if you maintain control, but the enemy can come along and try to steal that from you and get the gold for themselves. At the 15-minute mark, the Kraken emerges. The Kraken is a monster, super hard to take down. You could think of it like trying to take a Baron in League, although the impact is different. And if you take Kraken, he's going to rampage down the lane. He cares about nothing except destroying enemy turrets, and he's going to help you push and certainly help you close out a game. It's one of the elements that keeps our game consistently at 20 to 25 minutes for matches. So Vainglory is a free download from the App Store. Check it out, give it a try. We always have 6 heroes free in the free hero rotation, and then players can unlock them permanently either by grinding for glory, so spending no money at all. You can grind for glory playing matches and then unlock heroes with glory. Or if you don't want to wait, you want to play that hero that you got attached to right away, you can buy ice, the ice that we're giving away on stream, and use that to instantly unlock heroes. So this is Vainglory, a 3v3 MOBA. Our roles, we have protectors who can come in various shape and sizes. Arden, who's the new unreleased hero who's coming in 1.1.7, is a damage-soaking tank protector. We have snipers who are kind of like ADCs, but there's a lot more variety built in there. We have warriors who are a little bit like bruisers, but again, the multiple build paths create a lot of flexibility for what those can be like. So check out the game, and we're going to be with you. We got another Arden game that you've never seen still to come, so stick with us, and you're going to get to see more Arden scenarios, and a little bit more of an edge that you can get for when Arden drops in the next update 1.1.7.
Allied hero killed.
All right, confirmed. Cooldown Crow does not work. We just got owned.
So after all that, a lot of hype. I've seen it work, but not in this match. This looks like GG, a 6-11 triple clockwork crawl. So you're being exposed to the other side of that triple clockwork crawl. Hey,
Holy shit, it's the party.
it's Captain
I
Nito.
figured why not crowd? Why not
Enemy is
just crowd the
getting
whole thing? You guys keep talking.
Good. I'm
Yeah,
getting cold.
I'm gonna, it was a stand too because my knees are gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna put back on the big cam here. So let's turn it over to Captain Nito.
Hi.
He is the lead hero designer. He's
Yeah.
one of the co-founders, just like Nansen here, Krull here, surprise birthday here. You just have the floor. We've been talking forever. Talk about whatever you want. Arden, other heroes, other builds.
Okay.
The player community, just ramble, man, and then we'll get another match going.
I think that's a great idea. Hi everybody. I'm really excited for what's coming for this year, like the entire year of Super Evil and Vainglory. So now that we have this all set in stone, but we've all had conversations and we've been putting sort of our ducks in a row and figuring out what kind of crazy stuff we're going to be delivering to you guys and as soon as possible. But dude, like all I can say is for the people that are watching this right now, this year is going to be amazing. You're going to see, like, just in Q1, the amount of crazy banana sandwich crap we're going to be throwing you guys' way is going to be awesome. And I can't say anything about it because then, you know, playoff beer kicks me in the shins, and then, you know, the whole
I
thing
will
goes...
kick you in the shins.
Right, and then,
you better deliver now.
Exactly.
Making promises.
No, we're going to deliver. It's going to be epic. It's really going to be a lot of fun. And already you guys are seeing just the first barest taste test of the start of things with Arden and the trio of heroes that are coming out, their interwoven story, all that cool stuff. I'm really excited for you guys to get the rest of this story, just because I think the story is really cool. But I have a soft spot for lore. I know it's not for everybody, but I really like great stories. So sometimes when we're sitting around the lair and we're just talking about all sorts of good stuff that we can add to the game, we also have the chance to just really talk through the world of Vainglory and the people of Vainglory and how we can bring these characters to life for you guys. And the story that we're telling first, this tiny little chapter, this cast of heroes and what ended up happening with them, I think is quite fascinating. It's going to be super, super entertaining. So definitely make sure that you stay tuned throughout the release of the next 3 heroes in order to get the full story behind the Broken Family, and Arden being the first one out the gate. Beyond that, we've got all sorts of features that I can't promise without getting kicked, but in the shin, a shin kicking. But we have a bunch of stuff. Not Shinkan. Not Shinkagan.
Although we
Also
might
just-
send him after you.
Also true, and he would defeat me. But I think we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff. For the person that says Monkey Hero confirmed, yes, and there's gonna be. I mean, no, there's not a Monkey Hero.
Demand a goat theme.
Oh, there,
the
Goat's
goat,
big.
The goat is real, the nightmare goat, or
Yeah.
the happy
I
goat,
also
I
saw
suppose.
a goat kraken.
A goat kraken?
As a request.
Okay, I'm on it.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, let's make one.
If I promise a Kashka buff on air, does that mean that it's gonna happen? Because that's all I want.
Hey, yes.
Damn.
Late game Kashka, man. She falls off hard. You took care of Scarf. Where is the Kashka love?
So this is like an intervention, right? Like you guys just dragged me on camera to force
Well,
me to
you
commit.
are, in all
Yeah.
fairness, you are cornered.
That's true. I can't actually leave without addressing it. Okay, so let's talk a quick second about Kashka.
No.
We will take a look at Kashka. The Eye of Sauron will focus on Kashka, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do with her. But I think that overall, just the palette of heroes that people are gonna see, I think is going to be really, really awesome in just Q1 of this year alone. And we have plans that stretch even much further than that.
So one thing I just want to say, for anyone who hasn't joined us on the live stream before, normally we take advantage of this time to play as many viewer matches as we can. It's normally former Team Curse MOBA Pro, Janna, insane Janna player Zken, playing viewer matches with people like you who are watching. We can't do that live from PAX South because the entire universe here is on the same Wi-Fi, and it would be super crappy, and we want you to see Zken at Zken's best and also not cost you guys elo in a public match or just lose horribly in a private match. But join us next Friday for our live stream, and we will have viewer matches. It's super fun. You get to play with the devs, you get to play against the devs. Really good time. What I want to do now is I want to kick off another Arden game.
Yeah.
And Nito, if you could stick around and talk through it from your perspective. We haven't had your perspective on the Arden action yet. I can give up my seat here so you can sit down and really talk through an Arden game. I think that would be great.
I think that'll be fun.
Let's shuffle
That'll
around.
be great.
Let's do it.
Wow, a lot of things confirmed here. So we've got Goat Hero confirmed, Dubstep mode confirmed, Koshka buffs confirmed, Half-Life 3 confirmed. A lot of things confirmed on the stream today.
3 was confirmed?
Yeah, didn't you know?
No, I missed that part.
I just said it.
Yep.
Duh.
That's how these things happen.
Duh.
Yeah. It is awesome.
The
All right.
battle for the
Which Arden
Halcyon
game is this?
Fold
Hold on.
has begun.
Okay.
Okay, so let me jump on to some of the comments and questions that are coming through pretty quickly. We're about to start this Arden game, but just a quick question that people keep saying things about new maps and new skins. Specifically about new maps, that is something that we will do down the road in the future, but ultimately new maps early on, especially when you're building up a game like Vainglory, would force players to have to choose between playing on the Halcyon Fold and playing a new map. So even though it seems like it would be awesome to add to the game really early in the game's life cycle, you have to make sure that the game has a lot of players before you start adding new maps, because otherwise you end up artificially lengthening the queue times for any specific game mode, and it actually ends up hurting the game far more than helping. Right now we are solely focused on the Halcyon Fold for our map. We will absolutely think about new maps in the near future, but for now the Halcyon Fold is the place to be. As for skins, we love skins, we know you guys love skins, and we have heard you guys, and we aren't saying anything specific about it because otherwise Playoff Beard, summarily kicks me in the shins, and then I'm sad. That said, we tend to do things we like, so obviously if we know you like them and we also are fans of skins, then we might have something more to say about that down the road. As for team chat and pre-made commands in the game, we agree. That is absolutely awesome. We think we can do a lot more than just our current pings. We're going to talk to you guys more about that in updates that are actually super soon. So hold tight about that. We're going to be doing some really innovative stuff in that direction. We have our game plans written in pencil, and so you're going to see that stuff rolling out throughout the rest of the Q1.
Who's J.K. Lollington, by the way?
J.K. Lollington, I don't know.
That might be Ubel Andre in some other games. I feel like I was seeing some traits. Like I feel like there was a Crystal Saw that was a J.K. Lollington in one of the games. So that means maybe that's Ubel Andre.
Okay, well maybe that's Ubel Andre. I don't know. So I'm going to talk through what we're looking at right now in this match as it's playing out. I think that you guys have probably already described the Arden nuances and stuff.
For anyone joining late, you can talk through what the abilities are and kind of how you want to use them too.
Okay, for people that are just joining us right now, we've got on screen we have Zken and J.K. Lollington. Zken is playing Arden. He's our new hero, and he is kicking off the story chapter of the next 3 heroes that we're tentatively calling the Broken Family. Arden is a protector, and his abilities, his first ability is called Vanguard. He can dash to a hero. You just saw him do it right there to J.K. Lollington. He can dash to an allied hero and erect a barrier around them that prevents damage and grants them movement speed. And this is amazing for rescues. Arden is really good at getting people in trouble out of trouble. He specifically will put himself in position of where they were and end up taking that attention away from them. So if you're running around with Arden, there's a lot he can do to kind of help you out with that. He can also use his first ability Vanguard on himself. It's not nearly as effective, but it is totally viable. And the benefit to Vanguard again is that if anything that attacks something that has the barrier from Vanguard reduces the cooldown, or grants him it grants him Vengeance. That's what we called it, Vengeance. The yellow bar that's underneath his health bar. So Arden becomes significantly more threatening the more people are actually attacking his friends. So right now you notice that Zekend ended up using that on J.K. Lullington just to give him that extra burst of
Just in case he takes
just
the
in
turret
case.
shot.
Also to take the turret shot, yeah, and it got him a little bit closer to that pedal. The cooldowns on his Vanguard are really the key to managing an effective Arden. You want to make sure that cooldown is going to be up for your friends because there's so many plays that you can end up making around Vanguard. So you can use it on yourself, but be cautious with doing so because even though it costs you no energy, when it's on cooldown, you're not going to be able to make incredibly crucial team fight plays or rescues. Next, we had a couple of questions that actually just rolled by about the skins, whether or not they were going to be for Glory or Ice. We're not saying any details about the skins, though I love your enthusiasm. We are definitely have crazy stuff to talk about skins soon. Please, by all means, stay tuned. But we're not gonna say anything yet to avoid shin kickings.
I can't confirm that it is a loincloth that Arden is wearing.
It is a loincloth that he's wearing.
Yes.
Also, his name is spelled A-R-D-A-N, in case anybody is curious. It's not Ian. And you notice here with the destruction of pedal that just died. So yeah, J.K. Lullington had a really good dash in on that pedal. It was a really crazy invade. That was the chance. That was the chance for Arden to actually rescue his.
He used it earlier.
Yeah, he had used it earlier. That sucks though.
So a lot of abilities in Vainglory do multiple things. So like some other games would say, hey, let's have separate abilities that protect your friend and deal AoE damage around them. And one interesting thing about Arden's Vanguard is that it does both at the same time, which means when you're jungling, you're very, very tempted to increase your clear speed, kill camps faster by using your protection ability. But it's got a decently long cooldown. It's like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So if shit goes down like 2 seconds from now, the enemy just appears. You need to think about whether or not you really want to use that for damage because you can't protect your friend. You can't use the CC. You can't grant your friend the speed boost. So that is the main reason why a lot of abilities have multiple uses to tempt you into using it for other purposes like farming faster and then punishing you for it. Or maybe you get away with it and that'll be awesome too. But,
Right.
You know,
Yes, and just straight on, as you were asking, is it best to max his A first? It kind of depends on the style of Arden that you're playing. Arden can be built to be a really awesome protector if you're focusing on like health and cooldown. He's there to rescue his friends. He's also quite capable as a bruiser, as a heavy, and he can be a damage dealer if you're focusing on playing him red or even strong blue in some cases. So whether or not you focus on his A is more whether or not you feel that you're playing him as a true protector role, or whether you're focusing on making him his battlefield threat increased, in which you would focus on leveling his B first. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. We're about 7 minutes into the game. We've got team left with Zekend, J.K. Lullington. They're farming up a little bit. And
the flare gun that was just used is because the gold mine is almost full.
Right. I was just looking at that.
Hygiene, very good hygiene.
Yeah, a really good tactic to pull off. We're probably going to see the two teams are going to start setting up around gold mine, and yeah, you can see this happening here. That was a random Vanguard. Maybe he thought that Ringo was just going to run out there. I'm not sure what that was for. But now they're leaving the gold mine unattended to grab some quick farm, which I don't know if is really the best strategy at this point in the game. Up, and it seems like there is actually something going horribly wrong for them up in the lane.
Arden just hit 6.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a play.
Okay, so he's going to be able to throw out that. Nope. Didn't do it. Yeah, maybe he will.
Enemy team
And now he
selected
threw it
for
out
gold mine.
just to protect those minions. That was. This is not what I would be recommending as masterful use of the
I swear to
ultimate.
God, this ability is really cool.
Yes, though that was a really good Vanguard on Ringo right there. The Taka invade. Taka is absolutely lethal against your carries, and again Arden was right there to do that. That will forgive him then of his poor arena use.
Somebody asked if Arden can lane. My first reaction is no because it's melee, but I'm gonna try it. Actually, I think you can every time you go in for a last hit, you can Vanguard yourself.
Yeah, and I think
That
that
might work.
with Julia's gift, he's gonna be pretty durable early on, especially if you're focusing on health. It might make it so that your harass is not nearly as prohibitive as you might guess. And if you're sticking to darting in and out of the brush, it might be something. It might be something that could work.
I'm gonna take that as homework and give that a shot.
Yeah,
of our
see
test.
what actually
If
happens.
I fail horribly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, teammates.
Exactly.
So Nito, I have a question for you. So I don't know if you know, but Naked Green stopped by the stream earlier, and we asked her what is something deeply humiliating that she could reveal about you live on the stream with her intimate knowledge of you in the lair. I want to see if you can guess what it is that she told us.
Okay, I'm assuming that she probably told you that I really am in love with gummy bears. I'm not gonna get away with something that easy.
Or that you hate fish.
Or that I hate fish. Or that I hate coffee. But not actually, kind coffee. I think he's awesome. I meant just, actual coffee.
So it's really a trick question because she said she would have to get back to us, but I thought I might backdoor into a good answer
Into
there.
a good answer. See, that's why I was trying to avoid. That felt like a scout trap of a
You
question.
were too smart for me.
Scumbag.
We've already established your genius on prior streams, and you outsmarted me on that one.
Well, that's good. Well, what did you ask her? Now I'm curious.
No, I literally asked her, can you please tell us something
Oh,
deeply humiliating about Captain Nito? And she thought hard and then said she would get back to us. Yeah.
Okay.
But
well,
I
I'm
thought that
glad
might work.
I dodged that bullet.
Enemy hero
And
killed.
Lunisha, I'm also convinced that Playoff Beard is a master. So let's get back. What's going on with the game? Now that I've managed to avoid the scout trap of a question, so it looks like we're running back out. It looks like there was a rally, and while we were talking, it looks like Team Right has captured the gold mine from that skirmish. So didn't seem like that their strategy for protecting it went well.
Wow, did Scumbag Arden just take the last hit?
He did. He took the last hit, and he's got the Iron Guard. So again, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, Iron Guard contract is awesome for tandem jungling with a friend. It's great for you to take aggro and then leave the last hit for your buddy. Again, you don't have to, but it's a great way to share the wealth. And it looked like right there, Arden didn't care, and he was like, "Money is mine."
Yeah, my advice
take
is
it.
to roll in this situation more than Arden does.
Yeah. So RJ asking how would we compare Arden to Catherine? Arden is kind of Arden is strong where Catherine is weak. With Julia's gift, it means that Arden is going to be awesome at like piranha damage. This is damage that is small and really fast. So think damage from buffs. Think about damage from like petal munions. All of those kind of things are areas where Arden is going to shine because Julia's gift is going to trigger and it's going to prevent all that damage from hurting him.
Oh, I just want to point out, somebody just used a crucible to help their teammate walk out of the Arden gauntlet.
Oh, pro.
That was amazing.
Yes. No, yeah, another thing worth noting, you can get out of the arena if you end up using any kind of reflex block. But I think that where Arden is weak is also where Catherine is strong. Catherine is really awesome against burst damage, and Arden is really weak against burst damage. Julia's gift is proportionally not going to help very much whenever a large spike of damage is going to go in. So again, if you're playing against an Arden, you want to think about building yourself in a way that's going to be more proc, more burst damage-ish. That kind of stuff is really going to be really effective against him. Going for things like low damage and a high attack speed is just really going to be playing into his hands, and he's going to just shrug it off.
So somebody asked, what do all the stacks on Iron Guard mean?
Yeah. So you want to field that one?
Yeah, sure. So Iron Guard has two passives actually. The first one says, whenever an ally last hits something near you, you get a bonus gold equal to 20% of what they just earned. So you're not taking it away from them, you get extra gold for doing it. The second one is if you take hits from minions, so if you tank a jungle camp for your friend, every 5 hits will pay you 20 gold, so the stacks tell you how many hits you've taken before you can get another 20 gold from the other passive.
Yeah, that was a great explanation of it. And if you tap on the Iron Guard in the store, you can see a lot of these explanations. Also, in case you're ever really curious, jump on vaingloryfire.com. You can find really great builds, but you can find a lot of information just about items and other things. So if you're ever curious, you can give it a try. Asking who is the best Arden player at the lair, I'd probably say it is it's Playoff Beard. He's the greatest Arden player in the lair. Did I do it? Yeah, Ciderhelm is probably the best. George is up there. I would say Q is probably up there as well. Unfortunately, not me. But I hope to.
I'm not a good Arden player at all.
I'm not as good as Arden as I should be. Cider is absolutely amazing at Arden. George is amazing at everything he touches.
I really do enjoy Arden, though. I think, I main Koshka. I've been playing a ton of Jungle Scarf. I think there's going to be a lot of Arden in my future. Just that damage-soaking protector. I've been waiting for that, just like you saw right there. The ability to charge to an ally, get that move speed burst, give them their protection. I actually can think about it the same way I think about Koshka.
Oh, okay. That was. Oh! Okay, so yeah, what we just saw happen right there, Arden had rescued. Oh my goodness. Okay, so many things happened quickly. So Arden had just rescued his friend, but unfortunately, the enemy Arden had it in for him and ended up trapping him with his gauntlet. And then Arden tried to retaliate by trapping everybody else in his gauntlet because they were going to be taking turret aggro. But unfortunately, he died, which dropped his gauntlet and allowed them to escape. That was a really awesome play.
Also, the team's gauntlet prevented the turret from being destroyed. Actually, it completely zoned the enemies out of range of the turret, so they would have totally wanted to destroy that turret. It's only got about 10% life left, so it would have gone down there if it weren't for that gauntlet.
And for anyone asking, it's come up a couple times before, if you joined us late, if Arden leaves his own perimeter, the gauntlet will go down. But if he dies, it will stay up.
Yeah. Asking if Taka can X-Retsu out of Arden's arena, the answer is no. No one can escape the arena without suffering the penalties of the arena, both taking the crystal damage as well as being stunned.
He'll exit it, but he'll get stunned.
True. I should reframe that. He can leave the arena, but he will be stunned the moment that he lands at whatever target he used to try to exit. Other questions? There were a couple that have rolled
It does
past.
not block projectiles.
It does not block projectiles, no.
So Nito, just talk a little bit about this Arden Crawl jungle tandem, just what you're seeing here and kind of how you would think about that if you were an Arden or a Crawl and you were jungling together.
I will in 1 second, but it sounds like there is actually a question from Longstrong, specifically that you need to give him some ice. So I'm going to pass that along first, and then I'm going to answer whatever question it was.
So Longstrong, I looked, man. You gotta send a private message to Twitch on Vainglory, to Vainglory on Twitch. I gave out all the ice yesterday from everyone who sent a private message, so I'll check again when this is over, but, go to the Vainglory profile page on Twitch, hit the gear, hit the, message button, and give us your player name so that I can get you your ice, man.
VFX, Antonio, all you guys asking about what happens if Jewel tries to jump out of Arden's gauntlet. Actually, that was a really fascinating argument that we had, because it looks visually like she should be able to escape it, but in keeping with the consistency of how the gauntlet works, if Jewel attempts to jump out of the arena, she also will take damage and be stunned.
But in the game we showed yesterday, that's not in there, right? So,
right.
So she can leap out of it. As of now, we're still in the tuning phases for Arden and his abilities, but it sounds like the Jewel mains out there. It sounds like we're leaning now toward having that leap stun her.
Yes. Yeah, she will still get stunned. If you land the ult on top of an enemy, can you deal damage? We're also debating that one as well. So. Originally the answer was yes, you could actually place the arena right on top of a person the moment it appeared, and they would immediately stun and take damage. And then we started leaning away from that, because we didn't want the arena to be used we want the arena to play to entrapment. We don't really want to play to it being a stun. So in our current builds, we're tilting towards not doing that.
Yeah, so the wall will push you away from it.
Yes.
It's not going to instantly stun you.
But yes, the goat can go through the perimeter.
The goat can go wherever the goat wants.
There are actually like 5 goats on the screen right now. I don't know why you can't see it.
The goat and the kraken can go through the perimeter without consequence, but that's pretty much it.
Kaitens, you will still get stunned if you try to cross the gauntlet. At this point right now, if you try to get out of the gauntlet, no matter who you are or what ability you use, you will get stunned and take damage. Except for the goat. As we've already established.
Like the one
goat,
right there, right now.
Right, the goat that's on screen right there was Ziken.
That's not a goat.
You don't see the goat? The goat's there. You guys can't see the goat?
I can see the goat.
I see the goat. So getting back to where we are in the game, great rescue by Arden. He ended up using Vanguard to make J.K. Lawlington not take nearly as much damage, and then immediately wreck the gauntlet, trap any of the enemies that were inside of it. Taka is back. Arden unfortunately has his Vanguard on cooldown, so you're going to see him do a little bit of chase though. They feel that they have the aggression. Zekent's going to try and see if he can run down Taka likely.
That's a big waste of a Kraken, by the way, to die like that.
Yeah,
you get the Kraken and then just get separated and die like that. That's really bad.
That is no kind of fun.
So one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot from teams is you get the Kraken and then you spread out to take the 2 mini mines to the map. It's actually not that important. When the Kraken is out, there are no minions on the map, so mini mines don't matter. What ends up happening is your team spreads out, you don't defend the Kraken together, and you get picked off one by one, and now see, that's just a free Kraken.
Yeah, that's a free Kraken, and again, 500 gold. Like the Kraken is a great opportunity for pushing, but you don't get any money for actually capturing the Kraken. You get a lot of money for killing one. So if you're going to take all the effort to actually capture the Kraken, you want to really be incentivized to escort the Kraken and try and push and actually close out the game with him, much more so than just letting the enemy team farm him and get free 500 gold apiece off of him.
So Longstrong, just find me anywhere. Find me in the forums, Playoff Beard in the forums, or the Vainglory Game subreddit, or send an email to support@evilmegacorp.com. We'll make sure you get your ice. We just need your player name. So just find a way to reach out to us if you can't get the PM to work through Twitch. Not a problem.
Asking about dramatic music for team fights. Yeah, we want to do that. That's actually one of the things on our grocery list.
We have the tech for it.
Yeah, we do have the tech for it.
We need to finish it.
We just, we got distracted doing other things like launching the game and all of a
may
sudden.
not already be there waiting.
Yeah, we just haven't paid attention. Thanks for nudging us about it though, because it will be awesome.
Remember what I said about dubstep mode? It's gonna be really smart.
Oh, yes.
It's gonna be really smart. It's gonna be conditional.
Oh my god. Yeah. Everybody at the lair hates the fact that I am actually perfectly fine with dubstep. I love dubstep. I think it's great. And everybody else is just like, what? And then all the hipsters are like, dubstep's so over, man. But I don't care. Dubstep's great. I'll put in a dubstep mode in a heartbeat.
Goat step.
Goat step.
Goat step 3.
I'm all in for that. Colgul saying that it looks like Arden's ready to go. That's really flattering, man. I'm glad that you think so, but there's definitely a couple of corner cases where Arden might need some balancing before we let you guys get your hands on him. Monster Candy buffing up Kraken. Interesting idea. We'll have a conversation about that maybe.
Enemy hero kill.
What was that? Monster Candy on the Kraken.
Yeah, so Joshua is mentioning that the minion or Monster Candy should buff up the Kraken if it's on your side. That would be an interesting idea. I haven't actually thought about
Candy.
That's interesting, except then people would just do it every single time.
Yeah.
There's no strategy. It's just
not
100% of time Monster Candy.
Unless it did something with heroes.
Spilled Milk, I'm glad you love dubstep as well. Thank you. That doesn't make me feel so bad as being the only one left that actually likes that kind of music. Other things, the dev email for sending usernames or for anything really, you can always reach out to us at support@superevilmegacorp.com. There's several of us that actually can camp that email address, so we can always talk with you guys from there. Other things, Petal Seeds, granting vision. So, that would be really strong. Oh my goodness!
Arden just guessed where the invisible Taka was gonna be, dropped down the wall, and stunned them with it.
That's awesome! Man, I missed that play. That was really good. I missed the play because I was talking about Petal Seeds. We are likely not going to let Petal Seeds grant vision. We have tried it in the past. It goes very badly. It makes Petal incredibly OP. And so we won't do that.
Now.
As if she's not already.
Hey,
I think Petal's fine. Alright, so where are we at right now? So it looks like Team Left is going to be grabbing the Kraken. We just saw that they took out the Taka just a couple of seconds ago, so it seems like the Kraken's going to be free for them.
Do what that Ringo just did, is towards the end, go to the enemy brush, check if anyone's there. Actually, it should have been Arden who did it because he's the tankiest, but someone on the team has to do that.
Yeah, but it looked like, I thought Arden had aggro, so he's probably going to lead it away from the enemy brush while somebody else scouts it.
That's true.
But yeah, that's a really good tactic. You want to make sure that you get eyes on approaching heroes, especially if anybody is up. You can check death timers. So you want to have one of the people that's on your team at the very least go in. And Arden is erected the gauntlet. It's just like boom. I'm not even sure why that turned out horribly.
Amazing counter gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, though he actually died.
No, that Ringo's too fed.
Yeah, okay.
Ringo 2 fed.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Still not sure that I think that was a worthwhile cooldown.
Look at that.
So look, with the clockworks, it just seems like he's just going to be burning gauntlets every single time he possibly can. And so yeah, you're seeing here a really great escort on the Kraken. That pedal that was focusing on J.K. Lullington on Krull, Z-Kent ended up using his Vanguard to remove some of that harass. And now they're pushing it for that second to the last turret, that bottom enemy turret. And again, I mean, this is clearly a guy that doesn't care because he's low health and he's just like, boom, right in there on pedal, and he dies for it. And that's okay. It seems like pedal stuck there with JK. Is JK gonna do it? The reflex
there's
block,
Jay
and then,
for you.
Yep.
Wow.
And then that looks like that game.
GG.
That was that was perfect.
JK, that was like pure calculation right there.
Yep.
Ice and a couple other crazy things.
Okay, we're gonna do some
Grab
ice.
a chair.
I'll be back. I gotta swap with playoff.
Okay.
All right, so folks,
Don't move, everybody. I'm just swapping out of his seat so that he can sit down.
we're playing musical chairs here. All right, so
There
we're
we
gonna
go.
we're gonna do 3,000 ice. We're gonna hang out with you a little bit more, but then stay tuned because we're gonna host B-Rad Loose Keys, the maker of Shatter the Vein podcast. He has got 500 ice courtesy of Super Evil Megacorp that he can give away after every match. To hang out with him, really fun streamer. He's got his own personality, so you'll get to experience that. He's gonna play viewer matches, and he's gonna have more ice to give away. So stick around. We're gonna hang out with you a little bit more, and then we're gonna go ahead and host him. So let's do some ice.
Yeah, let's do some ice.
All right, and you should talk about things while I do ice, because otherwise
Okay,
it's
okay.
just gonna be like
Awkward.
Let's all right,
And then silence.
Push the thing.
Yep. So addressing, someone was mentioning they had a really buggy game where they saw somebody wasn't basic attacking. We've seen that bug in the wild. I'm so sorry you ran into it. There seems to be in some rare cases where you can get disconnected from the server, but you're only disconnected one direction. So you're. In that case, you'll see the game. The game is still running, and you're running around, but you won't be able to actually attack, and nothing else will move. In those cases, the best strategy we can only advise you to do right now is to suspend and resume. You'll get right back into the game. But yeah, in those cases, it looks like the game is actually running, but you've actually been disconnected from the server. Let's do some ice.
All right, here we go. The first winner, Mojo the dog.
Yeah.
Mojo the dog.
Mojo the dog.
is a winner.
Congratulations. You're rich.
Congrats.
You're rich. You're gonna be able to buy all the stuff.
The second winner. Oh man, this is a name we all know from way back in the day. Go ahead and do the honors and read it.
Oh man,
Congrats,
Zyronel.
Congrats, dude.
Dude, well done.
We all know you. Thank
Yep.
you for all the Vainglory Fire builds, for all
Yep.
the forum contributions, for being with us since the early days.
Yeah, dude, you're a hero.
Zyronel, congrats.
Yep.
And third winner of ice is something flops.
Guys, again, for people asking for the ice, we don't give the ice away willfully. It is all up to the random roll of a dice. So yeah, we can't actually just give you guys ice. You have to just be selected by the god of randomness.
The Moobot won once. It's like we don't have any control over this thing.
That's awesome.
All right. So, oh man, but it seems like we're stacking the deck because this is another name that everyone will know.
Nice.
Completely random. But go ahead and read it. Vodka, he's everywhere. My God,
Everywhere,
this
yeah.
guy is everywhere. Is a winner.
Congratulations.
Congrats. All right, I'm gonna do the ice recap. It's a little hard to read, but we are gonna put this in the forums and in the Vainglory Games subreddit. So don't worry about it. Here is the recap. We need you to send a private message to Vainglory on Twitch, or find me somewhere, Playoff Beard, and we'll get some proof that it's really your account, and we'll hook you up. But it's easiest and fastest. You send us a private message through Twitch. So the winner recap again.
Oh, while he's doing the winner recap, Josh, I just saw your question go flying by about buffing third tier boots. We've actually had some conversations around it.
Hey, give me some move speed on that, man.
I know you've asked for that.
For please.
Yeah, I know you've also asked for that. We're gonna look into it. We have to be really cautious with movement speed. Movement speed is incredibly powerful. It's one of those corner cases in MOBAs where you don't expect it to be really strong, and it turns out to be incredibly strong. But if we feel like that's something that's going to be safe and not going to unbalance the game, then that's something we're definitely going to consider.
All right, let's do. I want to do at least one more ice here, just to give people a little bit more of a chance to win.
Yeah.
Let's do one more ice.
Winning is awesome.
And we're bringing it up. And this is why you talk about other things while I do the ice. All right.
Oh yeah. So what
there
I'm
we
gonna War Falcon 76 brought up people that are stacking lots of fountains. We've noticed that that's become a very popular strategy in the wild, and so we've been investigating that internally at the lair and deciding exactly what we think would be the best way of addressing that. There are definitely some cases in which we think that is game breaking and not intended. So you're likely going to see a correction of some kind to that. What that will actually be, I cannot commit to right now, but we know about it and we're definitely looking into it.
All right. Here's your last winner of ice. So we are going to go ahead now. Thank you so much for joining us this whole time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to host Brad, who's got more ice to give away. Thanks so much for joining us for this marathon stream for the Arden reveal.
Yep.
We really appreciate it. We're going to see you in game. We're back next Friday for viewer games with you. We'll be playing games with you. Hang out with us.
Sorry,
the
I just
goat
saw.
is real.
Wait! I just saw Dennis's comment about us beefing a fountain. You should be a designer, dude. That's
That is not going to
that's
happen.
really good. Yeah,
All
we
right.
should beef it. We should beef it.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Thank you for hanging out. I just have to wait for this to catch up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was great. Did you get any feedback from today? Like your audience received at all? Just out of curiosity. Like
Oh,
how
they
the
were-
broadcast stream went.
Yeah, they were super psyched. We're hosting. We should be hosting properly now.
Okay, I'm just gonna close out of this